Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
Right now at 10, preparing for a busy holiday travel weekend. We'll look at how state police are stepping up patrols to keep Connecticut's roads safe over Thanksgiving.
And police on scene most of the day investigating a deadly pedestrian crash. And tonight we're learning more about the men who were killed, including one who made a name for himself in the storm chasing world.
And after Thanksgiving, find out how state lawmakers could extend the gas tax holiday and continue relief at the gas pump. But we begin tonight at 10 tracking how busy holiday travel is across Connecticut this Thanksgiving holiday. Good evening, I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Thanks for joining us. Well, you may have noticed it already, but state police have more troopers out on the roads this weekend, working to make sure, of course, everyone is safe. Fox 61's Gabby Molina rode along with the trooper today to get a first-hand look. She joins us out on the Fox 61 Sky Deck with more. Gabby.
Ben, Sarah, there are going to be so many people that are going to be driving to their Thanksgiving destinations, and of course, everyone wants to get there safely. So it is so important that drivers put the distractions away, that they slow down, and state troopers are going to be out there looking out for the drivers that don't. As you drive to get together with loved ones this weekend, remember, you're sharing the roads with others who want to do the same. While Thanksgiving is a time to celebrate, it can also be a very dangerous time for drivers.
The numbers are staggering of what we're seeing on Connecticut roadways. Speeds are up, the rates of distracted driving are up, the rates of impaired driving are up. There's a lot of bad behaviors that were developed during the pandemic, which are continuing today.
Connecticut State Police is stepping up patrols this holiday weekend to look out for those bad behaviors. Wednesday evening, we got in a cruiser and followed along.
We have increased patrols, so we've got stuff for speeding enforcement, OUIs, especially tomorrow. It's going to be a big one.
The Connecticut Department of Transportation says drunk driving-related crashes rise during the Thanksgiving holiday season. Their message, buzz driving is drunk driving.
The consequences are real. Forget about, paying a fine or a minor fender bender. These crashes can kill you. They can kill other people.
And troopers know exactly what to look out for. In 2021, they made 50 DUI arrests during the Thanksgiving weekend.
It sort of starts to drive, really can't stay in their lane. Speed is a big giveaway as well. Pretty much anything erratic.
They'll also be watching for any kind of distracted driving, speeding, and aggressive driving. The main goal is to keep everyone safe. During our ride-along, Trooper Schwab responded to vehicles disabled on the highway, minor incidents that can turn major quickly, especially with so many people on the roads.
Because everybody's traveling at highway speeds, and like we said, you add in, the speed and then the distracted driving, you don't want to risk somebody getting hit. So we try to move them off the highway. That's like the first thing we'll try to do here.
And if you are planning on drinking this holiday weekend, just make sure that you plan ahead. Make sure you have a sober designated driver, that you use a rideshare app or even public transportation. Just don't get behind the wheel. And state police ask other drivers out on the roads, if you think you suspect a drunk driver, call 911. Live on the Fox 61 Sky Deck, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
Important reminders. All right, thank you, Gabby. As far as road conditions, that's another big question.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now, looking at the forecast over the next 48 hours. Hi, Rachel.
We are looking so good as we head through your Thanksgiving. We can get a lot of nasty weather this time of year, so I think we're winning the weather lottery. But there are a couple chances for rain, not snow, not ice, but rain after we get through the Thanksgiving holiday. Right now, temperatures are dropping into the upper 20s, Meriden and Willimantic, right around the freezing point for the Hartford area. But you'll see clear skies overhead, and not just smooth sailing driving across Connecticut, but across the entire Northeast, and a lot of the country is quiet too. Low temperatures tonight in the mid-20s to right around 30 degrees as we head towards daybreak. So it will be chilly for the morning turkey trots for the Manchester road race, with temperatures rising through the 30s. Great running weather, but for spectators, you'll want to bundle up a little bit. Heading into noon, though, we're talking about temperatures in the mid-40s and high temperatures in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees as we head through the afternoon, maybe as you're sitting down to have some turkey for dinner. We'll see showers developing as we head into Friday morning if you are going to be out shopping for some morning doorbusters. We'll talk more about that round of rain and another one that follows for the weekend. Your full forecast when I come back in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, Rachel. We're following developing news tonight in Hartford, where police are looking for whoever killed two brothers inside their home. Investigators say 20-year-old Cesar Diaza Escobar and 19-year-old Jonas Diaza Escobar were on the second floor of their apartment on Barker Street. Shortly before 1 this morning, someone came in through the back door and shot them both. A balloon release and vigil were held tonight in their memory. Cesar celebrated his birthday just a few hours before he was killed.
Gotta see your older cousins die like this, go out like that. That's not how they should have been. They had a long life to live. They just started growing up. We all just started growing up.
Now, Hartford has now had 38 homicides this year. Officers believe the shooting was a targeted attack, and anyone with information should call Hartford police.
Also in Hartford tonight, police are investigating after two pedestrians were killed at the intersection of Blue Hills Avenue and Westminster Street. It happened at around 6:30 this morning. 36-year-old Corey Richmond of New Haven and 49-year-old Steve Famletti were pronounced dead at the scene. The driver was identified as 30-year-old Billy Hamilton of Vernon. Investigators say that Hamilton was speeding on Blue Hills Ave when he crashed and eventually hit a telephone pole.
Lately, I've been very attentive as to the traffic because a couple of times I went out and from the light, it's very bad. People take off fast.
Hamilton stayed at the scene until he was brought to the hospital. He's cooperating with the investigation, but is being charged with 2 counts of second-degree manslaughter and 2 counts of reckless driving. Back in 2019, we introduced you to Steve Famletti, who was one of the 2 men killed in that crash. Fox 61's Jen Bernstein featured him in a story about how he was a storm chaser even though he was legally blind. Famletti told us that he thought experiencing severe weather was exciting, even though he could only see out of his left eye.
Lawmakers will begin a special session on Monday to discuss several issues like the gas tax. They're also expected to discuss the suspension of fares on all public transit buses, funding for energy assistance, and premium pay for essential workers who worked during the pandemic. Governor Lamont will also ask lawmakers to push back the effective date of changes to the state's bottle bill to help stores avoid violations.
A man driving from Florida pulled over on Route 8 in Torrington for driving the wrong way. State police say the 71-year-old man was stopped shortly after 4:30 in the morning. They say he appeared to be disoriented. The man told police that he drove all the way from Florida to Connecticut without sleeping. Police gave that man a ticket for driving the wrong way and contacted his family to pick him up.
A man from Hartford's arrested after police say he left his newborn baby wrapped in a towel on the hood of a woman's car. This happened back in Mansfield in March. Police have now charged Jorge Grados. The baby was rushed to the hospital where we're told the boy only weighed a couple pounds. Officials believe he was born 9 weeks early and was only a couple days old when found on that car hood. Connecticut's safe haven law means parents can surrender a baby up to 30 days old to a hospital without question.
A Plainfield man is accused of abusing a 5-month-old infant. Police arrested 38-year-old Sean Holmes last night. Investigators say that Holmes was found at his home and resisted before being taken into custody. The infant has severe injuries.
Governor Ned Lamont appoints Garrett Ucalito to take over the Connecticut Department of Transportation as commissioner. He served as the deputy commissioner since 2020 and will be replacing Joseph Giletti, who's retiring. Ucalito says they're working hard to bring in more staffing and renovate all dilapidated rails, roads, and bridges. He said he's ready to move Connecticut's transportation systems forward in the next few years.
We need to make our transportation network safer for anyone using our systems, which means continuing to improve our roadways, building out sidewalks and crosswalks, roundabouts, bike lanes, cleaning up our transportation system, making transit easier and more appealing for passengers.
When Governor Lamont's second term begins on January 4th, Ucalito's nomination will be sent to the General Assembly for consideration.